The metaphor as the brain, the cognitivist metaphor, the brain as a computer. Imagine, you look at a flower, and there's an input of information through your sensors, through your eyes, and inside your brain there is a processing, a computing going on, and the output of this computing is the recognition. This is a flower. This is a metaphor. This is a cognitivist metaphor. The constructivist alternative is that the nervous system is a machine. The whole nervous system is a machine that controls movement, and this movement is capable of sensor, eyes, motor, muscles, sensor-motor coordination. And by doing so, it creates a spiral, if you can see me, a spiral, which is infinite, of action and perception. Okay, action, I move, I act upon the world, I act with my object. If you can see my hands here, I have spectacles. You can't see me. You can see the camera. Okay, I need the camera. Let me see what you can see. You can see me. Yeah, but can you see me? Can you see the spectacles? Yes. And can you see at the same time the presentation? Yes? Okay, so look at me. You can see me, no? Okay. I'm gonna close my Google now. I cannot see you, okay? I cannot see you. Thank you for letting me know. Can you see me? I close something else. Can you see me now? Because I don't know. Okay. Maybe there's something about this. I still don't know. So what happened is, let's see where I stop. Action, perception, loop, spiral is a loop. So there's sensor, my eyes, and motor, hands, coordination. Okay, this is what my nervous system does, and it creates an infinite spiral loop of action and perception. I act, I perceive. I act, I perceive. And this way I construct the objects in the world. This way I can recognize that this is a spectacle, this is glasses. Okay? Instead of having a metaphor that I look at this, there is the representation in my brain of this thing here, and this thing is recognized from a box of thousands of things and millions of things, and then okay, this is a glass, okay, and all the objects we interact with, they are result. All the objects we interact with, they are result of the action perception correlation. Okay, it's an idea, Maturana, Chilean, 1969. So this is a big difference. Let's continue. So now we're talking about ecological psychology. Okay, we have behaviorist, cognitivist, and then with cognitivist, information processing ideas, the computer as a metaphor. So this approach is born in between 50s and 60s of the last century. And some of these main ideas is this perception, action, continuity, that people perceive the environment and events within it, the events, the things that happen, in terms of the ability to act. Okay, a person's capability to act and carry out tasks affect how they perceive the different aspects and methods involved with the task. Okay, if I move, can you see me? Yes, I guess. If not, just say no. You can. If I move my head, I act. But when I move my head as an action, it influences or it directs my perception. My perception, my visual field, okay, is less than 180 degrees Okay, this is my visual field. So as I act, it opens up windows of opportunity. We opens up different windows of perception. So the action, it affects my perception. Okay. Another idea is the direct perception. Direct perception is the perception of the environment is not mediated by information processing, not by internal computing or storing memory like we spoke up to now. Okay? Or mental representations of looking at a flower, and they have a mental representation of the flower. The perception of the environment, the perception of where I am is direct. I have direct perception. I see what it is, okay, without the need of internal computation. Okay, so if I see the spectacles, it is what it is. Okay, I don't need internal computations because of the action perception loop, I construct the object. Okay, there's a framework of this idea that the unit of analysis, the unit of focus is not the agent, myself, and it's not the environment, my surroundings, but it is the relationship between myself and where I am. That's where we want to focus on. I'm not going to extend too much on each presentation, otherwise it is going to take lots of time. I won't be able to finish. But I told you not relatively recently that now that after almost 3 years, you have to not focus on the technique. Okay, you understand what it is. Now we have to start focusing the transition. Remember the transition and the connections. Okay, the transitions between point A and point B, the connection between myself and the other person. Okay, because I can't focus only me doing something, because by me doing something in Jiu Jitsu, there's something done upon this person, and this person also is going to act. So we need to look at the relationship between both of us. Let's continue. So the perception perceives an active process, in which we explore. Okay, we explore the world by acting, and as we act, we perceive. We perceive with a visual system, and the perception will influence or direct the next action. Okay, so perception is not something just static or passive. Okay, it's active and it's interdependent with action. Okay, you cannot separate these two. I'll give you some time for it to read. Okay, so when I act, I have my visual field, I look at what my attention is in, and it will influence or direct my next action. Okay? Or imagine you're walking. Myself as Brazilian, people plays football in the streets. It's very common now when you're a child and there's an adult walking and the ball is far away, and the guy or the person is walking, minding their own business, and then a child, please kick the ball. No, kick the ball back to us. See? And the person goes and kick the ball. Now put yourself in the place of this person walking. You're walking the street. You hear sensor, you hear a request, okay, language, okay, an instruction actually, please kick the ball. Then your senses go to what? There is a ball, okay, it's there, and then you look at the people, and you go and kick. You see, your perception, you have your action, you're walking, you have an intention, but because of your perception, it will direct your next action. In this case, it will take you away from from where you're intending to go and to do something else. Okay. I hope you got the analogy. So there's a mutuality between and reciprocity between the perceiver, the organism, and the environment. Because for the organism to exist, there must be an environment. And the environment presupposes that there is an organism living within it. You see? The organism can't be or live, can live by itself without an ecology, without an environment. And the organism is adapted to live within this environment. And the environment, of course, if there's an environment, there's an organism living with it. So we can't separate ourselves back to Jiu-Jitsu, we can't separate ourselves from our environment, which is the training. We can't, then it affects how we design, and then we are going to see how we design our training, and how this approach, when you're designing your lessons, is extremely different if you really take this approach. Because ogoshi, I like this analogy. Ogoshi, the environment of ogoshi is someone resisting. Okay, someone will be moving with you, and you will try to introduce your arm under the person's armpit and rotate your hips. If you train ogoshi without a person, which is done, and it has its function, because when we have to develop the motor skills for the rotation, okay, it's completely isolated from the environment. That what it's gonna be applied. You get very good at rotating without anyone, but it may not transfer well when you have to really apply the ogoshi against someone that is resisting. So you can't. There's a mutuality between you doing the ogoshi and the environment, the situation where it's done. So the training has to be done as much as possible with the elements that you actually need to apply the ogoshi where under the circumstances that you need to apply. Okay? Because the information that you have to perceive, the relevant information that you need to perceive in terms of interaction between you and the other person in a randori situation, sparring, whatever, the information is within the sparring situation. So when you design your training, you have to design your training taking this into consideration. Let's continue. Okay, I will talk a little bit more about affordances, but let's start. Affordances are opportunities or possibilities that the environment presents or offers us, or to the organism, to act. Okay, it's not something that lives within the environment, and it's not something that is inherent from the organism. It's a link. Affordances is a link between the organism and the environment. Because we are going to have a few terminologies which sometimes they're a bit confusing or not very clear. It's not clear, the definitions, okay? I'll go just give you analogies, okay? We have both two hands, okay? A human has two hands and two legs, and we walk up straight. The environment we work with, we live within, our niche, is different from the dog's environment. Okay, our ecology. Because the environment, how this idea is created, the idea about affordance. When an organism evolves with an environment over the period of time, the organism affects the environment and the environment affects the organism. And both, they evolve together over time, and they get closer and closer to each other. Okay? A dog, for instance, dog's hearing. A dog's world is different from ours. The vision, they see different color range, different frequencies. They see less red and more blue. They see less red, more blue, and we see more reds than blues than them. So the colors they see differently, and especially the hearing. We can hear up to, if you have a good hearing, up to 20,000 hertz per second. 20,000. The dogs can hear up to 45,000. So the auditive world, dog's auditive world, is completely different from ours. So for a dog opportunity to act in terms of hearing, he has different opportunities to act. The environment that the dog lives in offers the dog different opportunities to act in terms of hearing, which we can't hear it. So it's a different world. Czech Republic has a lot of ticks, no? And I'm very careful with going in forests because I don't want to be bitten by a tick. And the tick, there are three things. The world of a tick has three things. Okay, the tick's opportunities to act, how the tick evolved with the environment. The tick is there for months, not moving. Okay, and the perception. Tick's perception is butyric acid. Butyric acid. Okay, we sweat. We have like butyric acid that comes from the skin, mammals, and then the tick is there. Okay, there's nothing here, so there's no reason I'm gonna move. And then there's some scent, butyric acid, and then it activates the perception, affects the nervous system, which activates the tick, and the tick starts moving and drops. And if the tick is lucky enough, the tick is gonna fall on your skin. Okay, not mine, yours, on your skin. Boom, and your skin what has? If you haven't shaved yourself, there'll be hair. I have like hair here. And then the hairs itself will activate, will excite the tick. And the tick is, there's hair. Cool. It starts moving up to the point that the connection between skin and tick is recognized, another opportunity to act. And the tick starts drilling in someone's skin, and then stays there. And then there is this borreliosis that can happen. Anyways, my point is, with this analogy, is the world of a tick is different than ours. Okay, if I walk in the street in Brazil, a ball for me is an opportunity to act, is an opportunity to kick. Okay, the affordance that this interaction, when I see a ball, is the kickability of the ball. Okay, the kickability of the ball. If I see stairs, I'm gonna climb. The climbability of these stairs. This is what affordance affordances are. Okay? And there's more ideas like is a action perception loop, and because of the action perception loop and the way I am within my environment, my body has evolved. I have different opportunities to act, which is my relationship between myself and the environment. Let's continue. Okay, let's just go through it for cognition. Okay, you have 4 E's. And all what these concepts we are talking about are gonna give us a good idea, a basic idea on why there's a difference between the approach of having the metaphor of bringing us a computer and the relationship between us and the environment. And we need to have a basic understanding about what these concepts are, and it gives us a vocabulary as well to communicate. And if we want to explore any further, we will have the basic tools to continue studying. Okay. Okay, this is what cognition thinking is. Okay. So therefore, cognition is an area of research studying how cognition is not just in the head. Okay. Internal process. Cognition is no longer in the head. This is the idea of cognitivism, but it involves the whole body and involves our environment as well. Okay, so it is embodied, it is embedded, it's enacted and extended by way of extracranial, outside the brain, outside the head, processes and structures. Okay, let's embody it. I'll just give a short description. Okay, the cognition is embodied because I use my gestures, I use my hands when I'm talking to help me to better express myself. And actually, if you think about it, I don't remember the specific percentage but the language itself, it doesn't carry the 100% of the communication, but much of the communication between us is actually body language and also tonality of my voice to express what I want. Okay, and of course tonality. If you look at my mouth right now, my lungs, you see, my facial expression and my hands, they are telling you what I'm trying to explain. You can have the same words, monotone, and you're not going to get as much information. So this is embodied cognition. So I use my body for communication. I use my body to help me with my thoughts. In this case, communication to help me with expressing myself. Embedded. I give you a few. Okay. Embedded. It is a few more seconds for you to read. Now, embedded, it's related to what I said in terms of affordances. Okay, when I grasp this mug, there's the relationship between myself and the mug. The relationship between us is the graspability of the mug. And the graspability of the mug is not inherent to the mug. It's the relationship between myself, which will be myself, my body, the way it evolved with five fingers, 2 hands, with the thumb opposite to the other fingers, which allows me to grasp. Because of this design, Evolutionary design, I have the capacity to hold things in my hand. And then I affect the environment by creating objects. The mag that has a purpose. The purpose is to hold the tea. So there's a relationship between, look at this. Look, why? Because I have a finger here. Because I have a finger here. Like this. You see? But a dog can't do this. So embedded. Okay, the body is coupled with the environment. The environment is not just physical, it's then socially, physically, cultural. See, we are embedded into our cultural, social, physical environment. Okay, and all this supports cognition. Let's continue. Enacted. Give you a few seconds. Thinking about action, perception, action, spiral. Okay? There are certain things in the environment that they emerge, they are discovered, they appear through action. Okay? I act, as I act, I perceive. And as much as I interact with the environment, more opportunities to action will appear. This enactment. Evan Thompson. Okay? Evan Thompson, if you want to read about it. He talks a lot about the enactment. And cognition is conceived as a set of meaningful relationships determined by an adaptive two-way exchange between the biological and phenomenological, the way I act, complexity of a living creature, and the environment, the creature, myself, inhabit and actively shapes. I'm shaping the environment, but the environment as well has the capacity of shaping me, or shaping the organism over time. Finally, extended. Okay, cognition is extended. Imagine a pocket calculator. This microphone here. See, it helps me to communicate. Calculator helps me to think. It's a mobile phone. So there are tools that we create that they are external tools, and they become the part of our cognitive apparatus. Okay, and it extends itself through people and environment. It's not only inside my head, but I can use the calculator, I can use the computer, I can connect with you, and we can have this conversation. So let's proceed. This is for cognition, to give us an idea, a whole idea about how there's this cognitive revolution where we think, okay, thought is not inside our head. There's another way of looking at it, and there's a whole field that can help us to understand it. And as we proceed, we will see how it is related to what I want to say. So here, just embodied, embedded, enacted, and extended. Okay, it's just what we have been saying so far. If you want to read, and we are going to proceed now. Different ways of knowing. I learned this from John Vervaeke. John Vervaeke at the University of Toronto. I spent 2 hours with him, and it's still our conversations. I'm still trying to understand many of the things that we spoke about, and it's gonna take me probably a few more years. There are different ways of knowing. When we spoke about memory. I said declarative, non-declarative memory. Declarative memory as the realm of ideas, concepts. Now the Jiu Jitsu tutorial, they talk about concepts. But concepts, it is a cognitivist terminology. It's an idea, it's a concept. Concepts are inside our head. We, as practitioners, we work with action. We work with skills, and the skills, they are non-declarative. They in terms of brain structure, they are stored in a different place compared to the declarative memory. Okay, so there are 4 ways of knowing. 4 ways. And these are propositional, procedural, prospectival, and participatory knowing. And as we progress, you'll see how everything is related. Let's proceed. Propositional knowing. As I said, facts, ideas. I can extend myself quite a bit with it, so I'll be very short. Okay? This is a collection of propositions. These scientific domains, it works within the propositional way of knowing, because you have to have constraints, and then you build theories. Okay, you know that. I know that. This week, for instance, let's go. This week, for instance, since last week, I have been working with the children. What is a guard? Okay, I want to have a definition of a guard. I don't want you to demonstrate what a guard is and the definition of a guard. It took me 90 minutes working with the kids. No movement, just talking, trying to have a dialogue. And it's difficult. It is difficult. And we progress a little bit, and then after a few lessons, now I get. So I want to develop the propositional knowledge in terms of what a guard is. They have to understand and be able to explain what's a guard. Anyone knows what's a guard here? Can you give me a definition of what a guard is? It's a rhetorical question. Okay? I use one or both legs, the most basic, to stop the person from progressing. Okay, should I be on my back? Can I sit up? Should I be on my side? Is there connection? Is there no connection? If I make a grip, if I don't make a grip, if I go on inversion upside down, is it still a guard? So this is a realm of propositional knowledge, the realm of definitions. Okay, I know that, I know about things. This is our sense. Is a self of conviction. Is my belief. I believe things. They may be true or may not be true, but it's my beliefs. This is propositional. Procedural. We're going to consider. Okay. Give you a few seconds. Procedural knowing. I know how to do things. This is what is interesting for us. To us as teachers, coaches of movement. We teach movement. If I have a child, okay, write redact a text about what a guard is. Very soon they will be able to. But then I put the boy or the girl in this environment where has to deal with the guard, a close guard. And if he cannot do it or she cannot do it, you cannot pass, you cannot sweep, you cannot submit. So you can write the whole essay about the guard, which you know about the guard, so you don't know how to do the guard. Okay? This type of knowledge is in terms of sensory, eyes, ears, sensory motors, hands, muscles, motor patterns. It's a procedure, it's doing. Okay, sequences of actions that we have, that we interact and we manipulate the world. Okay, we need a sequence of actions to interact and manipulate our environment within the guard. Imagine, okay, I'm inside the guard, I have to be able to posture, be able to stand up. I have to have this motor, this sensor motor patterns very well structured inside me. And as we spoke before in our memory lesson, it is not declarative. It belongs to another, it lives within another place within our brain. Okay? If propositional is in terms of beliefs, I believe that, I know that, I think about, I think that. In terms of procedural, we are talking about power. How good is your guard opening technique? How powerful it is? See? Do you know how to do guard? Yes, I know how to do guard. Okay, show me 3 sweeps. And the person goes there and shows 3 sweeps and they close guard. Close guard, always close guard. 3 sweeps in the close guard. Oh, you know. Okay, now let's get 2 people. Okay, specific training. Let's go. Sweep now. And the other person gonna try to pass your guard and smash you. Then you can evaluate how powerful the technique is. How powerful this procedural knowledge is. Can you sweep against resistance? No. So the technique is not powerful. Okay, I have spoken for more than half an hour. Give me some thumbs up. Is anyone sleeping yet, or is everyone here? Good. Are we following? Are you following? Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Can I proceed, or? Yeah? Okay, no. Okay, I have a thumbs up as well. Let me just check here the message, see if I got the memo. Just open my WhatsApp for my wife if she has to say something before the end of the lesson, okay? Let's continue. I can't extend much in each one of those, otherwise we don't finish. Now things get interesting because, I know about the guard. I know how to sweep when I'm doing guard. But then you have the concept of the idea of perspectival knowledge. See, I even myself, without even noticing, I use certain language that is cognitivist, the concept. Okay. So even sometimes, even if you don't realize, you use a certain language, you communicate in a way that represents a certain type of idea. And let's continue. Perspectival knowing. It's not about beliefs, it's not about power. Perspectival is situational awareness. Okay? It's my perspective on something. It's my attention in relation to what I'm doing, my environment, what I'm engaged in, and what it is like to be. It's what it's like to be inside a closed guard. Do I have this perspective? What is like to be the person sweeping the other person? You see? This is a type of knowledge. This is a state of mind, because you can talk about the guard, you can be able to do the guard, but you have to develop this awareness. Okay, you have to develop this awareness in terms of your own perspective when you are interacting with the other person, the guard. Okay, because you will be experiencing when you are interacting, at the moment of the interaction. Now we are talking about movement. You have this sense of here now, and you're going to have a specific state of mind. What is your state of mind? You you're going to see, you're going to find things interesting, or where you're going to pay attention to when you're doing the guard, what you're looking at, and what's the most salient, what's the most interesting, what gets your attention, that you will invite you to act upon. For instance, imagine I'm posturing, trying to keep my posture, and there will be many things happening that they will catch my attention. So my perspective here is, okay, I'm here posturing and I have just to keep my posture, and then there is something coming close to my neck, and okay, how does it feel? Oh, I feel out of balance, so I have to act. What my intention is to go back. Okay, so this is related to our episodic memory, episodic memory is when you remember things, that specific things, moments of your life that happened in the past. Okay, it's not belief, it's not power, it's the sense of presence, it's to be present. Is the sense that I'm presenting here, I am present here and now inside this guard, and there are, in this case, opportunities of action emerging. Okay, so I use my senses, I use my my perception to act according to my intentions, according to the situation of the moment. Okay, it's embedment. I'm embedded to this situation, to this relationship between myself and the other person inside the person's guard. Okay, let's continue. And finally, participatory knowing. Okay, this one is tricky, and it took me some time to understand. Okay, this is collections of identities we have, we assume, we assign ourselves. Okay, this is the relationship between myself and the agent and the arena, and this my knowledge. And now it gets a little bit tricky, because is the knowledge I have through being. Okay. Now here I'm using an identity as someone sharing a certain type of information, knowledge with you. Okay. So in terms of relationship, this is about relationship. In terms of relationship, I assume the identity of a teacher teaching something that I know, and you as your student listening and learning about something that you find, hopefully you find interesting and useful and valuable for you. So this is the participatory knowing is we know through being here, by assuming this identity. And we have different identities that we may assume throughout our week. Okay, as a father, as a mother, as a person working, or someone studying something, as there are different identities that, depending on the situation, you will assume you are taking this identity to yourself, upon yourself. And it depends on the situation. When I go for training, okay, it doesn't happen as often now. I assume me as identity of someone training. Okay. In the competition, let's say someone doing guard. Let's go back to the guard. the identity of someone that competes, for instance, as a competitor. If you go for training, I when I competed, and today when I'm training, when I have the opportunity myself to training, I have a different identity compared to when I was competing for competition. I was training for competition. It's a different type of energy. Because I don't mind. I go there, I go inside the guard, that's fine. Let's have fun. Okay, it's a type of identity. I participate in this moment. I have 11 minutes left. I participate in this moment with you, within your guard, and adopting a specific identity of someone that no longer competes. I want to have fun. I want to learn, and maybe learn, and you may learn from me. So I don't have as much problem as before, as being swept, as being submitted. Okay. Instead, an active competitor may assume a different identity within the same situation. Same close guard. Close guard, I'm not going to break my posture. I'm going to smash you, and I'm going to force you to ask me, to beg me for me to stop. You see? And the participatory is this relationship. It is when we are both engaged in this relationship, assuming our different identities, I will be changing you and you will be changing me. You see? And in Jiu-Jitsu, I find it it's very clear to me, because I act, you will react, or you will act. The way, whatever I do, you have to respond. And you have to adapt to what I do. And the same thing yourself. And I will have my intentions, and my intentions relating to my identity that I take to participate in this relationship, and you have yours. You see, so depending on my identity, depending on my intentions, if I'm a competitor or not, I'll be acting with different levels of energy. Okay, I hope that it is sufficient for you. Okay, so, but very interesting, different ways of knowing propositional, procedural, perspectival, and participatory. We have 11 minutes left. Let's review everything. Then you're going to receive another link. I don't want to rush too much. Okay, 11 minutes. Why is it okay? Then you say you learned in this lesson here. Say, oh my God, I just learned in this lesson all this theory. Why does it matter? It matters because if you are designing lessons, if you are teaching, or you want to teach or want to assist teaching, you have to make decisions on how you are going to teach. And the way you're going to teach, if you don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to do this because I dream about it. And if you want to structure it, you have to think, you are influenced or informed by what? By your previous experience, by what you saw in YouTube, by your dream. Okay, what? Why you decide to teach something? Then this is okay. I decide to teach close guard because I like close guard, or because they need this information. Okay, good. But then, how do you teach a close guard? Then there are different approaches. Normally, okay, let's do drilling. We do drilling. Okay, let's do 100. In judo, you do lots of uchikomi. Uchikomi, like uchikomi, 100. 1, 2, and do lots of uchikomi. This type of training, and you are breaking down the ogoshi. You're breaking down the ogoshi in different steps. Okay, this type of training, it is aligned with a metaphor. The metaphor that the brain is a computer. The information is outside. You have to get this information inside your brain. And then you can break things down to the minimum part, and by studying this part, this part that belongs to something much bigger, I'm going to understand the whole ogoshi. Okay, take the whole ogoshi. This distance between this point and this point is the whole ogoshi, let's say. Applied under real resistance. And then, okay, that ogoshi can break down in 5 steps, for instance. Okay, let's train only this step. By training this step, you can understand everything. You are assuming that the sum of the individual parts equal the whole ogoshi. This is your assumption. So by just training this, I can send you to the judo competition. You can ippon someone. Okay. This is the idea when we break things down. Okay, let's just, and I do it. It has its function, but I know why I'm doing. I know when I'm doing, and I know what's the purpose of doing it. And okay, let's just break grip. Or this story, it's very popular. People go and stay there for 15 minutes. Okay, and because we think that by doing this, it will help us with the real thing. But it may or may not. According to the information processing, it helps because the sum of the parts equals the whole thing. The sum of parts equals the whole ogoshi. I can divide the ogoshi in 5 steps. If I learn the 5 steps, I'll be able to do the ogoshi. Okay, this is a cognitivist approach. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. The next, I don't know how many minutes I have now. The next, my love, how many minutes I have? The next, I have 1 minute. The next hour, I'm gonna just check your email. I'm gonna send an email. The next one, I'm going to tell you why, based on this approach, it's not true, or they say it's not true. I don't know. I'm not a scholar. Okay, I don't know. They say it's not true. I use everything, but I just try to inform myself on what I'm doing. Okay, so let's finish here, and I see you 10 past 11. 10 past 11 because I have a flu as well, and I don't want to extend it for too long. Ciao, bye bye.